The dark side of WWE. Real-life consequences of scripted drama. The WWE brings electrifying action, dramatic storylines, and unforgettable rivalries to the ring, captivating fans around the globe. But behind the stage fights and scripted drama, there's a dark reality that many wrestlers face in their personal lives. The physical demands, relentless travel schedule, and pressure to maintain larger-than-life personas can lead to serious consequences: injuries, addiction, mental health struggles, and even tragedy. While the action in the ring is choreographed, the real-life fallout is all too real. Join us till the end as we explore the hidden side of WWE and the real-life consequences its stars endure. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Let's start it. The Montreal Screw Job. Bret Hart vs. Shawn Michaels, 1997. The Montreal Screw Job is one of the most infamous moments in WWE history. The incident occurred at Survivor Series in 1997, when Bret the Hitman Hart was defending his WWE Championship against Shawn Michaels in his home country of Canada. Bret was set to leave WWE for rival company WCW, and while he had agreed to drop the title, he didn't want to lose to Michaels in Montreal. Fearing that Bret might take the WWE title to WCW, Vince McMahon secretly conspired with Shawn Michaels and referee Earl Hebner to change the match's outcome without Hart's knowledge. The pre-planned finish was for Hart to retain the title, but during the match, Michaels applied Hart's own sharpshooter move. As Hart fought to reverse it, McMahon ordered the referee to ring the bell, even though Bret hadn't submitted. The match ended with Michaels as the new champion. Hart, realizing he had been betrayed, spit in McMahon's face on live television and destroyed equipment around the ring. Backstage, Hart confronted McMahon and punched him, leading to a black eye for the WWE chairman. The incident damaged relationships and changed the course of wrestling history, with Bret Hart leaving WWE under bitter circumstances and Shawn Michaels gaining even more heat as a top villain. The Montreal Screw Job blurred the lines between scripted drama and real-life conflict and is still discussed by wrestling fans as one of the most controversial moments ever. Brock Lesnar vs. Braun Strowman. Stiff shots at Royal Rumble, 2018. At Royal Rumble 2018, a highly intense moment occurred between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman during their triple threat match with Kane. The two super heavyweights are known for their physical style, but what happened in this match was more than just scripted aggression. During one sequence, Strowman delivered a stiff knee to Lesnar's head, seemingly too fast and too hard, catching him off guard. Lesnar, visibly annoyed, immediately retaliated with a real punch to Strowman's head, landing a right hand that was unscripted. The force of Lesnar's punch stunned Strowman, and for a brief moment, the two exchanged legitimate strikes before regaining composure and continuing the match as planned. Lesnar's response was a classic example of a wrestler sending a message to his opponent to tone it down. Strowman, being new to main event level competition compared to the veteran Lesnar, had to learn the hard way that even though WWE matches are scripted, there's a level of professionalism and control required in the ring. This incident highlighted the real risks involved in WWE's scripted physicality. While the situation didn't escalate into a full-fledged backstage altercation, Lesnar's real punch became a major talking point among fans. It was a reminder that even in a controlled environment, things can sometimes go wrong, and even elite athletes like Strowman and Lesnar aren't immune to making mistakes in the heat of competition. Chris Jericho vs. Goldberg. Backstage Showdown, 2003. In 2003, Chris Jericho and Goldberg had a real-life altercation backstage in WWE, stemming from tensions that began in their WCW days. During their time in WCW, Jericho felt that Goldberg, who was a top star at the time, disrespected him by refusing to work with him in a meaningful feud. This tension carried over to WWE when Goldberg signed with the company. According to Jericho, Goldberg confronted him backstage one day and criticized him for comments Jericho had made about him. Goldberg, being significantly larger than Jericho, likely thought it would be an easy intimidation tactic. However, Jericho, who had some legitimate wrestling and submission skills, wasn't going to back down. The two engaged in a real backstage fight, and despite the size difference, Jericho managed to take Goldberg down using a front face lock, controlling him until the fight was broken up. Wrestlers like Edge and Christian reportedly witnessed the fight, and the story of Jericho taking down the much larger Goldberg became a legendary tale in wrestling circles. This fight underscored that wrestling's backstage world is full of real-life rivalries, and Jericho's victory over the larger Goldberg surprised many, given Goldberg's intimidating persona. The incident didn't escalate further, and both men eventually worked together professionally in WWE. However, it remains one of the most talked about backstage fights in WWE history, showing that sometimes personal grudges carry over beyond the scripted nature of the business. JBL vs. the Blue Meanie. Real Blood at ECW One Night Stand, 2005. At ECW One Night Stand in 2005, tensions boiled over between John Bradshaw Layfield, or JBL, and the Blue Meanie during a massive brawl in the ring. The two had real-life issues stemming from JBL's reputation as a backstage bully. Meanie had previously spoken out about JBL's bullying behavior, which didn't sit well with the former WWE champion. During the scripted brawl at the end of the show, JBL targeted Meanie, hitting him with real punches to the face and drawing blood. It became clear to viewers and those backstage that this wasn't part of the script. JBL had taken the opportunity to legitimately attack Meanie under the guise of the chaotic match. The incident caused a stir, with many criticizing JBL for taking advantage of the situation to settle personal scores. WWE later addressed the incident by booking a match between JBL and Meanie on SmackDown, where Meanie was given a chance to get some retribution. While the storyline helped resolve the issue on screen, the real-life altercation became a major point of discussion among fans and wrestlers. It highlighted JBL's reputation for being tough and, at times, crossing the line when it came to dealing with people he had issues with. The Blue Meanie JBL fight serves as a reminder that, despite the scripted nature of wrestling, real-life animosity can sometimes spill over into the ring, with wrestlers taking things too far. Kurt Angle vs. Daniel Puder. Shoot fight on SmackDown, 2004. In 2004, Kurt Angle hosted a segment on SmackDown featuring participants from WWE's Tough Enough reality competition. One contestant, Daniel Puder, a trained MMA fighter, made headlines by turning a scripted wrestling match into a near shoot, or a real fight. Angle, an Olympic gold medalist in amateur wrestling, challenged the contestants to try to take him down in a wrestling match. When Puder stepped into the ring, he caught Angle in a real submission hold, a Kimura lock, that could have broken Angle's arm. Angle, realizing he was in danger, tried to pin Puder, and the referee quickly counted a pinfall to end the match before Puder could apply more pressure. Puder's decision to apply a legitimate hold embarrassed Angle and created tension backstage. While the moment was quickly contained, it could have led to a much more serious injury for Angle, given how close the submission came to causing real damage. The incident remains one of the most infamous examples of a wrestling match turning into a real fight on live television. Puder's actions didn't endear him to the WWE locker room, and while he won the Tough Enough competition, his WWE career was short-lived, partly due to this controversial moment. It served as a reminder that even scripted entertainment like WWE can sometimes become unpredictable when real-life competition gets involved. Edge vs. Matt Hardy. Feud fueled by real-life affair, 2005. The rivalry between Edge and Matt Hardy in 2005 was one of the most personal and heated feuds in WWE history, largely because it was based on real-life events. The drama started when Hardy discovered that his girlfriend at the time, fellow WWE wrestler Lita, had been having an affair with Edge while Hardy was out injured. The affair became public, and Hardy was initially released from WWE due to his erratic behavior following the discovery. However, fan support for Hardy was overwhelming, and WWE eventually rehired him, turning the real-life situation into an on-screen storyline. The tension between Edge and Hardy was very real, and when the two first met in the ring after Hardy's return, the match had an intensity that went beyond the script. Their punches and moves seemed much more aggressive than normal, and it was clear that the bad blood between the two wasn't entirely for show. Their feud became one of the most compelling storylines of the year, with fans captivated by the blending of real-life drama and wrestling fiction. While both men were able to put their issues aside enough to work together professionally, the animosity between them was palpable during their matches. Vader vs. Paul Orndorf, Backstage Brawl, 1995. In 1995, during their time in WCW, Vader and Paul Orndorf got into a real backstage fight that became the stuff of wrestling legend. The altercation occurred after Vader was late for a scheduled photo shoot. Orndorf, who was working as an agent, backstage producer at the time, confronted Vader about his tardiness. According to reports, the confrontation escalated quickly, and Orndorf, who was in sandals and street clothes, threw the first punch. Despite being smaller and older than Vader, Orndorf managed to knock the much larger Vader down with a series of punches. Vader, known for his size and strength, was surprisingly overpowered by Orndorf, who was known for being legitimately tough despite his wrestling injuries. The fight became notorious in wrestling circles, as Orndorf, despite being the underdog in terms of size, came out on top. The incident hurt Vader's reputation backstage, as many viewed him as being humbled by someone he should have easily overpowered. Vader and Orndorf's backstage brawl was a reminder that wrestling's backstage environment can be as intense as the action in the ring. Even though both men were part of a scripted entertainment industry, personal egos and pride can lead to real-life confrontations. The incident didn't affect Orndorf's career, but it cast a shadow over Vader's WCW tenure, as the story of his loss to Orndorf spread quickly among wrestling fans and wrestlers alike. Brock Lesnar vs. Kurt Angle, Real Wrestling Showdown 2002. In 2002, Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, two of the most physically gifted athletes in WWE, had a real wrestling showdown backstage. Lesnar, a former NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion, was new to WWE at the time, while Angle, an Olympic gold medalist, was already an established star. Both men were known for their legitimate wrestling credentials, and there was curiosity backstage about who was the better wrestler in a real contest. According to reports, Lesnar, known for his incredible size and strength, challenged Angle to a real amateur wrestling match. Angle, despite being smaller, accepted the challenge. The two squared off in a real wrestling match, with many of their WWE colleagues watching closely. To the surprise of some, Angle reportedly got the better of Lesnar, using his superior technique and experience to control the younger, stronger Lesnar in the contest. The match ended without any hard feelings, as both men respected each other's abilities, but it became a well-known story among wrestlers that Angle had won the real wrestling match against Lesnar. This backstage showdown between Lesnar and Angle was a rare example of two elite athletes testing their skills in a real competition within the scripted world of WWE. Both men went on to have storied careers, with Lesnar becoming a multi-time WWE champion and a UFC heavyweight champion, while Angle solidified his legacy as one of the greatest technical wrestlers in WWE history. Shawn Michaels vs. Bret Hart, Real Fist Fight Backstage, 1997. The backstage tension between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart reached a boiling point in 1997, when the two WWE icons got into a real fist fight. The animosity between them had been building for years, stemming from personal and professional disagreements. Michaels, known for his brash personality, and Hart, known for his professionalism, were two of WWE's top stars, but they couldn't stand each other behind the scenes. The tension escalated when Michaels made comments during a live interview, implying that Hart had been having an affair with another WWE wrestler, Sonny. Hart took offense to this, as the accusation was both personal and untrue. Their issues came to a head backstage when the two finally confronted each other. According to reports, the argument quickly turned physical, with both men throwing punches. The brawl was intense, and other wrestlers had to break it up before things got worse. Michaels allegedly lost some hair during the fight, and the altercation left both men fuming. The real-life fight between Michaels and Hart added fuel to their already heated on-screen rivalry, culminating in the infamous Montreal Screw Job later that year. Their backstage brawl was a clear example of how real-life issues can impact the scripted world of WWE, leading to a conflict that spilled over into both their personal and professional lives. While both men eventually reconciled years later, their backstage fight remains one of the most well-known real-life altercations in WWE history, showing that even the biggest stars aren't immune to personal grudges and physical confrontations. Booker T vs. Batista, Tempers Flare During Commercial, 2006. In 2006, Booker T and Batista, two of WWE's top stars, got into a real backstage fight during the filming of a commercial for SummerSlam. The altercation reportedly stemmed from Batista's rising popularity and perceived arrogance, which had rubbed several wrestlers, including Booker T, the wrong way. Booker, a respected veteran, felt that Batista wasn't showing proper respect to others in the locker room. During the commercial shoot, the tension between the two finally boiled over into a physical confrontation. According to reports, Booker T challenged Batista to a fight, and the two engaged in a real brawl. The fight was reportedly hard-hitting, with both men landing punches. Despite Batista's size and strength advantage, Booker T held his own, and many witnesses said that Booker came out on top in the exchange. The fight was eventually broken up, but it caused a major stir backstage, with wrestlers taking sides. Some viewed Booker T as standing up for the locker room's respect, while others saw Batista as defending his position as one of WWE's top stars. While the two men eventually worked together professionally in the ring, the backstage fight left a lasting impression on WWE's locker room. It highlighted the fact that even in a scripted environment like WWE, personal pride and egos can lead to real physical confrontations. The Booker T vs. Batista fight became a legendary story among wrestlers and fans, showing that sometimes the biggest battles in WWE happen behind the scenes. Real fights in WWE: Sin Cara vs. Alberto Del Rio, July 2013. In July 2013, a match between Sin Cara and Alberto Del Rio took an unexpected turn when Sin Cara dislocated his finger, prompting him to end the bout prematurely. This decision did not sit well with Del Rio, who was visibly frustrated by Sin Cara's choice to quit over what he perceived as a minor injury. Del Rio's frustration escalated as he reacted by kicking Sin Cara in the ribs after the match ended. This altercation drew attention, highlighting the intense emotions often present in the ring. Later, Del Rio openly admitted his wrongdoing, expressing disappointment with Sin Cara for not pushing through the pain. This incident serves as a reminder of the physical and mental demands placed on WWE superstars, showcasing how injuries can lead to unexpected confrontations and revealing the competitive nature that often fuels rivalries within the organization. Koko B. Ware vs. the Masked Patriot, real fights in WWE. Most wrestling fans fondly remember Koko B. Ware for his iconic Birdman gimmick, which earned him a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009. However, during the 1980s, Koko found himself embroiled in a match that transcended scripted drama. His opponent, the Masked Patriot, unexpectedly started delivering real punches, turning the bout into an unsanctioned brawl. Koko, known for his athleticism and charisma, didn't back down. He retaliated with stiff offense, showcasing his toughness in the face of aggression. The intensity escalated as Koko eventually knocked out the Masked Patriot. The match took a brutal turn when Koko continued to kick his opponent while he was down, demonstrating his resolve to end the fight. Ultimately, Koko delivered a shoot brainbuster, sealing his victory in a contest that blurred the lines between scripted entertainment and real combat. This encounter remains a memorable example of unexpected real fights in WWE history. APA vs. the Public Enemy. On March 7, 1999, during WWE's Attitude Era, tensions escalated between the Acolyte Protection Agency, or APA, and the Public Enemy. Known for their no-nonsense approach, APA, comprised of Bradshaw and Farouk, was involved in a match where the Public Enemy raised concerns about the planned finish. Frustrated by the situation, APA decided to take matters into their own hands. In a shocking turn of events, they legitimately beat up the Public Enemy during the match. This unexpected confrontation showcased the gritty and often unpredictable nature of wrestling during the Attitude Era. The incident marked a turning point for the Public Enemy, as they were released from WWE shortly after. This real-life altercation underscored the blurred lines between scripted storylines and actual conflicts in professional wrestling, reminding fans that not everything in the ring is strictly choreographed. As we wrap up our exploration of the darker side of WWE, it's essential to recognize that behind the glitz and glamour of professional wrestling lies a complex web of real-life consequences. The scripted drama often masks the genuine struggles faced by wrestlers, from personal conflicts to health risks. We hope you enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us continue bringing you insightful content and diving deeper into the world of wrestling. Share your thoughts in the comments. What real-life wrestling stories do you want us to cover next? Thank you for joining us, and we will look forward to seeing you in our next adventure.